Hi, I'm Natasha, and I'm going to talk about a few tools using astrology in your birth chart in how to heal yourself, become more aware of yourself and the people around you so you don't make their situation worse or the situation between you and other people worse. Um, and I don't know, it's just more liberating and more diplomatic and peaceful doing it this way, in my belief at least. So I'm going to talk about um, the North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, because I personally have this placement. And the North Node is where you're heading and what is the furthest and kind of scariest place that you're just uncomfortable with. So with the North Node in Aries placement, I relate it to having to learn about finding yourself and who the hell you are. What do you like? What do you want to be? Actually, being more confident and assertive and aggressive with just knowing what you know, being who you are, and being confident with it, owning it, and not giving a shit about what other people think, or not allowing other people's influences affect your decisions, because you're learning about yourself, and that's what's comfortable with you, and it's very liberating once you actually move towards it and not be pulled back with those Libra traits, which is like not being pulled back towards those Libra traits, which is other people, giving in to what other people say or think, listening to other people, just going along with what other people do. If other people say that you need to go in the medical field, and you just do it. If your family influences you, it's like, you should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't hang out with this person, you shouldn't hang out with this, you need to do it like this way, you need to do it like that. Those are all the Libra type traits, and you need to break free and be courageous and brave enough to assert yourself and say, no, that's not what I want, that's not who I am, and that's not going to make me happy. And I know it. And if you want me to be happy, let me do it. So if you believe in past lives, being reincarnated over and over again, whether you believe it or not, like, think of it as, you know, just like a behavioral pattern that your soul has gone through many, many times, whether you believe that or not. That's kind of like how it will feel or translate in this human life. I like to think of the Libra South Node, like if I were to create like a storyline, as if I was like a little princess in a past life, in a time period where girls couldn't do anything that boys did. We couldn't go play with swords, we couldn't go to the gym. We had to be very proper and do what we were told. We couldn't read, we couldn't publish anything. All we could do is be pretty, play musical instruments or do art, but not be known for any of that, really. Get married to an old fart head that our family married us off to protect the wealth and make sure we could just survive and feed us or whatever, and just make babies all the time. And in this lifetime, we're learning to actually fight for ourselves and not do what others told us to do. Like, you're a princess, you can't go do things like that. If you want to go make bread, you're not allowed to go be a bread maker. You have to be a little princess and sit in your pretty dress. And pretend storyline that I like to think of, because in a way I'm a little bit girly, even though I have the Aries moon and north node traits in my birth chart. And then my Aries north node is in the house of Libra, of relationships. So for me, it's like being more assertive within relationships. So just like saying, no, this is not what I want, or even learning what I like and dislike within relationships, friendships, business partnerships, any kind of relationship. And learning how to be assertive in it and not just like, don't feel bad. It's like, oh, we don't have the same values, morals, or like we have nothing to talk about, then I shouldn't feel bad to just pull away. Aries is also learning to be like a leader, because like Libra was always like a co-leader or the second main actor in a movie, like the background person. Or think of like husband and wife. Maybe the husband was, the face of the show, but the wife had all the ideas, but she wasn't allowed during a time period to express those things. She wouldn't get the credit. But maybe she was the brains to the ideas, and she allowed the husband to take credit for whatever she wanted to express in like an old time period. So she was like the second person in line, but in this lifetime, you're supposed to be the main role of that instead of the runner-up. That makes sense. It's kind of finding the balance between Libra and Aries. So Libra always wanted to kind of please and be nice and just kind of give in to what other people wanted to do, or what they thought, and maybe like backed off from their own opinions just to keep the peace. Moving into an Aries type North Node might be like, this is my opinion and I don't care if you like it or dislike it, and I'm not afraid to speak my opinion. And if you don't like it, you don't have to, but this is what I have to say, and I'm gonna own it, and that's my belief, and that's it. And not being afraid to do those type of things, either doing or speaking. Libra South Node, or like Libra traits in general, kind of always wanting to please, and then they love relationships. All the Libra energies, depending on what you are, Libra rising, Libra sun sign, or if you have a ton of planets and asteroids in the 7th house of Libra, you can kind of take on these traits. Libra can almost be like codependent, like they don't want to be alone. That doesn't mean that I'm saying that if you have a lot of Libra in you that you're codependent. I'm not saying that. But Libra loves to be in a relationship, and sometimes they might give themselves away or what they truly want just to be with someone else. If you have a North Node in Aries, you have to just feel strong and independent to be your true self and know what you want and don't want, and not breaking your own values of what you want in life and how you want to spend it, whom you want to spend it, to kind of fulfill the needs or desires of a potential partner that you're just trying to get with, because eventually it's going to be hard to maintain that relationship, because you can't pretend for that long, or you can't please the other person for that long if you kind of rejected yourself from the very, very beginning of the relationship just to be in a relationship. I noticed this with a lot of couples, actually, because people just want to feel loved and desired and have someone to spend their spare time with. And a lot of times they don't really develop those fundamental baselines or foundations of actually getting to know each other and each other's values, what they like, don't like, what their future aspirations are, what are their career or children or financial stability, outlook is on what makes them feel safe and secure, and does that align with someone else? Can they work with each other, not like fight with each other? And that's all about being honest and knowing truly what you want. If your intention is to have like a successful, secure relationship, then don't be afraid to ask the scary questions, in fear that the other person's going to leave. If they don't answer, or they don't know, or they don't know what they want, and you actually want something serious, then it might be a sign that, should you take this relationship that seriously, or should you keep yourself more open and available emotionally or physically, or whatever the case may be, for someone else to come in. Otherwise, you can kind of just go along with it and get emotionally attached, and all your, hours of your spare time away with someone that may not actually go anywhere. Now, if you just want to have a good old time and you really like the other person, you both are not ready for anything serious, you just want to have fun, then that's fine. You probably will learn more about yourself and other people in a different way, but just maybe don't have high expectations. Or maybe a time will come around that you'll actually talk about the serious stuff before you actually get married, because things will pop up eventually, and the bond will only tell the test of time with, like, are you able to overcome difficulties and fights and discord in a relationship. I said something about relationships and fighting, which you should fight and bicker in relationships, not have like crazy temper tantrums and throwing plates at each other. I don't think that is the healthiest kind of fight for any relationship. Probably think about what you're really getting yourself attached to, if that is the case. But having a good debate, really discussing things out. What are the pros and cons, the reasons why to this person's decision on this, or this person's belief on that, and is it really worth it, or is it really worth fighting for? Is it really a huge deal? Is it a deal breaker? These are good kind of arguments to have, and finding a compromise. It's Libra. And then Aries is being that assertive, like, I know it and this is the way I want to do it, and being a little bit more confident about that, and not being so afraid to like rock the boat and upset anyone, because at the end of the day you'll end up really upsetting yourself by getting stuck and pinned in a corner to where what you truly, truly, deeply believe, like, you can't speak up for it. And it's about speaking up for what you want and what you believe in, and not letting other people just like run the whole show. Like, you are part of the show, and finding that balance from Libra and Aries is, being able to assert yourself and not being afraid that other people will just leave you because you spoke your mind. But the North Node transits, they change every approximately 18 months. So usually you grow up with other classmates or other peers, your own age bracket, with the same North Node, South Node placements, unless you come at the very beginning or tail end of a transit. So you might find kind of similar patterns in your friends group that you grew up with, who are the same age as you. So the Libra South Node, expression, think of it like really really complicated examples could be like family ties or cultural traditions that the family really puts pressure on the person to stick with and not break free from. The best phrase of what a Libra is, or what that energy or archetype is, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I can't decide. It's the scales. It's like, is this the better one or is this the better one? It's like, well, this one's gonna create this or this one's gonna create this. And it's just really weighing the pros and cons of every single thing. And it's not like it's necessarily bad, because they can actually make the best decisions, because they think about everything. It's very calculative. But it can get really, really annoying, because you can't freaking make up their mind. That's kind of what the Libra is. Anyways, that is my Aries and North Node, Libra South Node analysis, mini stories, relationship advice. Not saying that I've had the best relationships. I've had to learn myself because of this. Learning how to speak up and actually know what you want is like a big thing. Getting to know yourself, because yourself was just other people just going along with whatever. You like them, and it's like, oh, it's fine. It's not bad, so I should just keep going with it. Like, why? I don't know. He's a nice person. We like the same things. It's all good. That's kind of what a Libra South Node is. So it's breaking free from that.